So here it is. We are at 8 p.m. India time. Welcome all. And now may I request Mr. Devang Sheth, Managing Director of Aditya Publication and the publisher of Skin Media Magazine, to please say a few words. Mr. Devang Sheth, please.
Thank you, dear friends. We, Screen Print India Magazine and Screen Printing and Graphic Association of India, during the Corona period, have tried to see how best we can help the Indian or Indian subcontinent countries to know about what is going to take place or the changes going to take place in next 2-3 years in the textile printing industry. And my friend Angelo, who has been kind enough, he moves around the world, needs lot of printing units in Europe and Eastern Europe. He is 25 to 30 years experience in textile printing industry, and he is one of the leading authorities in the industry. During my recent interaction with him, I suggested, can you share some of the thoughts, what the European or what the overseas print industry wants from the Indian subcontinent printer, that is, we would say the word Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and Vietnam. So some of our friends will join us shortly. And now I would request Angelo to share his views. He has made this presentation specifically for our webinar. I think the webinar should be around 30 minutes. After that, we have 15 to 20 minutes of question and answer. So please, Angelo, please share the dais and start, or you can share your views. And once again, I thank behalf of everyone. Angelo, you have been kind enough to share your thoughts and time with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Devan. Thank to everybody. I don't know if you can see me.
Yes,
Actually,
we can.
okay, perfect. I'm here. So it's a real pleasure to be here with you. It's a kind way to try to stay together, even if we are so far one to another. What I try to do, because you gave me Devang, you gave me a very hard job today, because you asked me to talk about the future, and I don't have the ball, the crystal ball. So I will try to understand what has happened until now, what we lived in the past months, and still now, I think. I don't know in India or Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka what is happening with COVID-19, but I suppose is almost the same in our country. So what I try to make, I try to share my screen, but you have to give me the access, please. And what I tried to do was to talk about our two different markets, because I belong from Italy, Europe, and you are from the opposite side of the world. So we have something different in our business. Anyway, we are screen printers, as we know. I see Shehan. Can I say hello to you? So I know someone of you, so if I if I find this, I cannot share my screen. I don't know why.
One minute. I'll just see, there is a screen share. I think we have not holded back you for anything.
Okay.
Okay, let me cancel your spotlight.
Okay, perfect.
No, it's okay.
And,
I mean, you're not in spotlight. Okay.
okay.
So let me see.
So
you've got two screens, right?
yeah, I have to screen. Is possible to share the other one?
I think I'm not being able to see the other screen as here.
Okay.
So
I remove the second one if you want, without any problem.
okay, please do so. So
Okay.
you can do it from here. You can share the screen from here. Yeah.
So we can start.
Yeah, you are being able to share now.
Yeah. I think you can see. This is me, but I'm not so hungry in life.
1 minute, 1 minute. I am just I'm not being able to see the screen of yours. I can see you, but I cannot see the screen.
Let me try to share. Uh, I cannot share it.
You
Okay,
cannot share it.
no, it's not a problem. I can try. I will send you the presentation at the end of the
Okay,
broadcast.
fantastic. You
And
can go on
now
like
I
that.
try to follow. I think it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. And okay, this is the nice problems of the broadcast, live broadcast. Okay, I try to make start this. Okay, my first the first thing I want to say is that the market is of course changed. It changed so much, and the world, because of the world, changed. And this is something we all knew, all know. And the most of the problems becomes from the fact that people don't want to change. So we live in a different world, in a different market, but sometimes many of us continue to think and to talk and to work like if we are in the past, still in the past. And I think that many people are still waiting about the change. Sooner or later it can come, but you know, it's not so. We have to make something to change things because the world is smaller, uh, more and more every day. It becomes more small, and we have to talk one each other and try to talk the same language. Even if I am in the west of the world and you are in the east, we have different culture and so on. What I can, you asked to me to talk about the textile market, and textile market is something that touches us like Italian people so deep because you know we have been in the past one of the main producers of fashion, of garments and so on. And you almost are the same in India because we have something similar in our tradition. So I try to make some thoughts about this. And what I suggest now is that uh, after the 90s, we had we moved the West market moved towards your market. So we had to change in some way the way to put in front of the market of the business, screen printing business. We of course learn a lot from you. You learn a lot from us, and now the market are mixed in some way. So what I want to say is that we have something that other populations, other market don't have. We started from the pure textile print. We both, Italian, Indian people, and all the country close to India. So we have a different culture, and we had, I think, many of us did a lot of, how can I say, we had to enforce us and to try to understand the new era of screen printing on garments. So what I can say is that all these changes put us on two different ways. Some business went towards the cheap market, some other to the high quality market. And this, I think, is the big difference that will make something like a big change in the next future. COVID-19 stopped us, many of us. I think you also stopped for 2-3 months almost. And many companies maybe are suffering for that. In Italy, for example, we have lost a lot of industries, especially on promotional. And I think that the future could be very different from the actual situation and from the past situation. And now the choices are bigger than in the past, because many people have to think a different way about machines, inks, emulsions, mesh, squeegees, drying system, textile too, because the new technologies, the new fibers, the new garments want a different way to print, a different way to work on them. So many of us know the quality of the new inks in the last years, and many of us have tried to print with the new technologies. Maybe in the past, someone of you printed on with plastisol, for example. I was born with plastisol, and even if I print on many supports, from wood to glass, plastics, and so. But my core business were, of course, the textile, the t-shirts and garments. Oh, Signor Beppe, ciao. So what we have in front now in the market is a new way to print, a new way to use the new technologies on the inks, and we have a good friend here that produces a very high quality water-based. And water-based is at the end become the must in this market. Many industries lost the habits to print in plastisol and passed to the water-based inks. I think that your culture and our culture belong from the water-based, so we have a little advantage despite the other screen printing populations. And what I've noted in this year is that almost all the countries all over the world have been aligned. The difference we have in the past were, for example, in Italy and in Europe, we have some laws, some rules about security, about products, was completely different from, for example, your market at the beginning. I'm talking about 20, 25 years ago. Now we are almost leveled, and we all have to work with the same products. So the challenge is more interesting in respect of the past. And what we have observed in the last 10 years is the passage from the plastisol to water-based, with all the enhances. I don't know the. Aiutami Beppe. L'aumento della qualità, il guadagno, the growth in quality of and the performance of the water-based inks. In the past, the water-based inks were very hard to use. Actually, are sometimes very easy, just because of the new technology or the new way to look at the print market. And I think that technology has completely changed the world of screen printing. What I'm looking in my country, except some special companies, there is the main fact is some of us have lost the contact with the screen printing world. Many people, maybe it was because many industries closed or stopped their activity. Many people left the market, the business of screen printing, and the old workers in the companies couldn't transfer the knowledge to the new generations. So I think we have to restart in some way to teach to the young generation how to print, and I think what screen printing actually is, because I think we have lost this. The digital printing entered the market in a strong way. they made lost field to screen printing, but I think that screen printing is coming back. And what we have to do in this moment is to teach a new generation to start the right way, starting with good machines, high performance machines, teaching them how to spend money in order to make a good laboratory, to install good machines, and main of all, to find not the easy way, but the easiest way to print better, to work better, because we are in a very lucky era, because we can talk with these long distances, we can share our knowledge. Many of these knowledge are free. Everybody can use them. And I think this is a very big advantage for young generation above all, but also for the oldest one, because we have much more to learn again. We have experience, but we are not always ready for the new market and for talking with the new generations, because new generation don't think like we thought in the past. They have changed the way to think and to work also. The job is not the job we did when we were younger. We had a hammer and a nail, and we put them on the wall, on the wood. But the new generation start from a computer, from a smartphone, and they can move money and everything they want just with the device. So we have to meet them in the middle, from our experience to their need of knowledge, and to their need to earn money, to make money, to how to install, for example, to buy and set up machines, how to choose the right environment, the right products, the best emulsions, the best screens, how to stretch them, how to build, how to create a good separation, and how to think in a screen printing way. Not, for example, what I noted in my classes is that many very high level graphic don't think with the right mentality, because they want to make only, they can do very nice job, but they cannot be easily translated to screen printing. This is another point we have to talk about, and we need to teach to the young generation how to move in this business. And you asked me to talk about the difference between our market and yours. Of course, I have a quite good experience about Italian and some of the most the principal nations in Europe. I have very few experience on your market, but I have many friends there, so sometimes I talk with them, and I have the lucky to see some industries, not in India, but very close to you. So I can say that what we did in the past, that was to take all our job and come to your countries to make it because of a cheaper price. Now it's finished. This year, I think, is finished, and things are changing. And I think that actually the most of the production is outside Europe, is going outside Europe. But I think that in Italy, we can, for example, go back a little bit to the past and try to restart with our knowledge, with our experience also in textile world, thanks also to many industries that are building and creating new products, very efficient, very good in quality, and easy to use also, we can restart to produce in 5-10 years almost to your level. All the world will be leveled. I think so. I think this is my personal opinion, of course. We belong from a big story, like you almost, because we belong from the print we did in Como, in Prato, in Biella, the main centers of Italy where we print on garment, and we did the fashion, the story of the fashion. So I think we can go back, but we have to teach the new generation how to do. And what happens after 2000, I think, was the way to change the situation in these last years. Of course, 2020 will be remembered like the year we stop everything. Almost everybody all over the world had to stop their production, had to stop their growing also, or the industries, and we have to face the situation. I think that like I told before, the big issue is that there were no continuity between the old factories to the new one. So many people lost the contact with what we did 10, 20 years ago. And we have to go back and try to learn to new generation the right way to work in this specific era, because things are completely changed. And one of the things I've noted in these last years is that many young people don't know how to organize a job in their company, how to organize a company at all. And this is another point we have to fix to young generations, because maybe they think that everything can be done without any kind of problematic, any kind of strength, any kind of I don't know how to say. They live in a virtual world, and they almost think they can do everything, and that everything is possible. Everything is possible now because we have the technology that can help. But in the 20s, the industries worked and live the same way they live today, they work today. So they have to be organized, they have to be led, and they have to be in some way organized, well organized. And main of all is the communication between the industries, between the market. I think is the future here. The future will be just in communication between the different market all over the world. And I can say I try, because Mr. Devang asked me to say him what I think about the future of Europe. I don't have the ball, of course, like I told before, but I think that we have some troubles in this moment, because we don't have the push from our governments, from people that have to make our job more easy. But we are strong. We are strong. We have good experience from the past. We have the technology now, and we are starting to working together. And this is, I think, the best way to front the new market. I think that the small markets and the small shops will grow in number, because big companies, many of them closed in Italy. I'm talking about Italy. And many small companies are trying to restart. The training, I think, will be the main job of the future. I think that we have to restart from trying the people to make to teach them the right way to restart. And I think that every laboratory, every small industry need to reorganize everything. They have to start from the beginning to understand how to make, for example, a good business plan, how to invest the in the new machines, understand the market they can talk with, talk to, and this will become in the next 5-10 years a new competence and new knowledge. So I think that I hope that the future could be better than now. We have all the tools, all the instruments to make this become true, to become real. So it depends from how and what we will work in this very next future. And I think that the job many of the consultants, the coach all over the world are making in the screen printing world, especially here, is a very good job, because all of us are trying to capture the attention of the young generation, the young people that are, of course, could be our future. Okay, and what make me quietly happy is that we are going towards a completely cancellation of the borders. I think in very few years, all the world will be one word, especially for the business, and this is what I hope. That is almost my point of view. Of course, Mr. Devang asked me to make this this video, this webinar in very few days, and the job was very, very hard, but I try to make my best for connecting with you and talk with you about this. So if you want, if you have some questions, if you have some suggestion to make, I'm here and happy try to answer. Mr. Dharmesh.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions, you can please ask. The session is now open for question and answers. Anybody has any specific questions?
Hello, Angelo. Hello,
Ciao,
Angelo.
hello.
This is
Yes,
Beppe.
who's this?
Good morning, everybody. I have a question for Angelo.
Okay.
I
Easy
heard you.
Question, please, Beppe.
It's an easy question. It's an easy question in your subject. You talk about educational problem, training, the need to have this service offered to the customer in order to create a bridge between the past experience with the new generation. And I totally agree about that, you know.
Yeah.
My question is, come from what I see on the market today. Everybody is offering consulting service, offering any kind of training, educational program. There is a bit of confusion of the level of the offer, because the training should have been based on a logical basis. Instead, everybody decide which is the standard basic to adopt. And this is not good for the industry. So my question, very simple, and Angelo, for you is, do you think should be not a good idea to try to create an organization able to fix the rule of the education? I mean, everybody is trying to make things easier, but I've seen that everybody, instead to do that, they are doing something just to avoid to understand very well everything they are doing. So the risk is that everybody is going to make things easier, but they have to do that without to simplify. So in my opinion, we should have a basic educational program establishing the rule of the education. Otherwise, it will be impossible to establish a global standard of printing. Nobody is able to determine today the quality of the printing in terms of number, in terms of real quality. For example, everybody talk about awesome screen printing, but my question is, how much is awesome, or how much is great print? This is not a size, this is not something clear. So everybody can say everything without to establish a specific standard. So in my opinion, should be considered a different program of education. So my question once again is, what do you think about the creation of a real standard educational program?
I totally agree with you. And we have some contacts. We are friends from some years, but we never had more than 5, 6 contacts in the last years. And we always have tried to talk about that. This is what I have like my first goal, and you have the same from your part. I think we are not so many in Italy that want to make something different in this business, because we lived the past of this business in Italy, and we know what happened around 2000. So you're right. Many people see your prints, some of mine, not so many, but your prints are much better than mine. And it's true because you developed a very great study on your products, on separations, and your results are very, very high level, and this is very attractive to the people. I try to make my best, starting with a small, from the beginning of the instruction, because like you say, many people say that this print is beautiful, is awesome, is nice, is awesome, but they don't have a parameter. We can't understand why they like, but sorry, we understand that they like our print, your jobs especially, but they don't ask you how did you arrive to the job. They only ask how did you do the job. So what we have to do, in my opinion, is to try to take these people and put these people to the beginning completely, clean their mind, and restart to teach them what screen printing is. So they could start from the beginning, how to make a good screen, how to tension, how to choose the right mesh, how to create a good stencil, how to choose, for example, this is one of my topics in my classes, the squeegee. Nobody talks about the squeegees except you, of course, few other people, but squeegee is very important. You can do everything the right way, but you can lose all the details due to a wrong choice. So what I think to do is we have to build, and I'm talking about Italy, especially in Italy, and we talked about this 1 year ago, if you remember. What I would like to create is a basic school that can continue after the basic school on a higher school, and then in something like in university. And I think that only people of our generation can do this in this moment. I don't know if I answered you, but this is my...
No, you for sure you answer, but mine was a bit of provocation for the discussion on everybody else, because I think that the global solution could be possible only when the people try to understand their potential, their real potential. And the potential is possible to be calculated if the people has clearer ideas. This is my point of view. What I mean is that once in Italy, when the production moved to East, everybody was looking to find a way to be competitive. And the choice was wrong because everybody was buying second-hand machine, cheap ink, not training education to the employees, etc., because they were looking to reduce the cost in order to be more competitive.
Yeah, to earn more money, yes.
This has been, no, probably they save money, but they destroy their job.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, today, the only way to win the competition is control of the cost. So yep. The machine is important in terms of performance, same of the product, because to be competitive today, you need to improve productivity, to save cost using, for example, finer mesh, to reduce the consume of the chemical, to reduce the consume of the inks, etc. And the performance of the ink has to reduce the curing time of the flashing yes. time, because if we go to cure, to flash a color in 2 seconds instead of 3, nobody think that they are saving 30%, they are improving 30% of productivity and reducing 30% their cost of energy. This is a way to be competitive. So education, many of educational programs are going to offer or to adapt the education to the need of the customer. The customer always need to save money, especially when it's not has not very many skills. This is the traditional way to go. So they learn to buy cheap ink, to buy second-hand machine, to not buy reclaimed, no, not to you, but reclaimed screen, etc. So yes. This is the wrongest way to learn screen printing.
Absolutely.
Because they are learning not to be productive. So not being productive, they cannot be competitive. And they are not competitive, they get not the money enough to re-equip the company or to educate his own employees. So yeah. There is a bit of confusion in the market, and the market should be, first of all, try to understand what he wants to do before to understand yes. what we will do in the future. What we will do in the future, the right answer for me is what we are able today to decide properly. And yes, this is the occasion to do that. Just to reinforce your concept. That was just for that.
Yes, of course. What we are talking about is something that is given to some people that have big or medium industries in a country completely different from ours. Maybe you know that we live in a country that was one of the best in the past until 30, 25 years ago, and that lost completely their potentiality. And now there are very young people that would like to start this job, but they meet people that don't know, how you say, how to show them the situation, how to teach them how to open a job, because what you say is right, is correct, is perfect, but for a company that already is in the market, if you have to take a young boy at 20 years old by hand and carry to your factory, first of all, you have to teach him how to spend the time and how to not waste his time, because time is money. This is the first lesson. The second one is how to create and to organize a job, a factory. After that, you have to teach them how to print. This is my personal opinion, of course, but I'm working in this direction. And I totally agree with you about the inks, the cheapest one, screens. I see in some companies, also big companies, screens reclaimed 20, 25 times.
This is
And in some
correct.
companies, I arrive with the cutter and cut them. And I say, buy a new one, stretch a new one, because it's impossible. If you call me because you have a problem and you are the problem, I cannot solve it, of course.
Yeah. This is a long discussion. I won't go.
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course,
want
of
to
course.
take. I don't want
No,
to
no,
take
no,
the
no.
time of the other. But
Absolutely.
my opinion is learn, think in the right way, take the same time, and less engage to learn
Yeah,
think in the wrong way.
in the wrong way.
This is my
Absolutely.
opinion. So you can start from the real beginning, but in the right way.
Yes, of course.
Starting, taking care about screen preparation should be done in the proper way. If you are a one person company or 1,000 person
Oh,
company,
yes,
this is the
absolutely.
step in the right way. Sorry
This
for
is my
my
mantra too. No, no, no. This is my mantra too, and I totally
perfect.
agree with you. But would be interesting to listen someone of our guests. What do you think?
Yeah. So anybody else who has any other question?
Angelo, there is a question from our participant Abhishek Jirvankar. He's asking, is there any standard for textile printing to get best quality print, like in terms of delta E value or CIE lab value? Can you please elaborate?
Or CI?
CIE lab value.
I'll just repeat. He's asking if there is any standard for textile printing to get the best quality print.
A standard, you mean?
So he's asking about CIE lab value. So you have this what you call color profiles. Okay,
I
you have
color
color
profile.
yeah.
We are
So you're
opening.
asking about the color
Yeah, yeah,
profile,
yeah, yeah. Okay, I
delta
understand.
E value or CIE lab value. That is what
Okay,
he's
okay, okay.
asking for.
CII. Okay, ICC. We say,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, okay. But this is a very, very large and big word. I
yeah,
see the face of Beppe. No, I think that the best ICC profile is to start making a very good, high quality one color print. This is the first step. When you know the mechanics of the screen, of the inks, of how to use a squeegee, how to use a machine, the pressure, the speed of the printer, you start to know how to print. After that is only a technical issue, because when you have the properties to print, the capacity to print one, two colors, the best way, you are ready to start imprinting midtones first of all, and then you have only the how can I say, you can choose the right product for you. You can buy instruments that can help you to measure the color, the thickness of the print, the kind of garment or support you are printing onto. There are too many points to be considered in this matter. Is a very waste by big big issue. I think it's not correct to talk about ICC profiles or CYMK without having the without being sure to be able to make a very high level one color print, and then two color, three colors, and then how to use the midtones, how to choose the right resolution in printing, and so on.
yeah. So
Sorry, but
Abhishek. So I think you have understood what Mr. Angelo is saying. Yeah, is that fine with you? Okay, fine. That is fine. He's comfortable with that. Yeah, okay. So anybody else who's having any more questions?
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, who's this?
Sir, I am Senthil Kumar from Image Printers, Tripur.
Okay.
Sir, a lot of new techniques came in the market, like Chinese, Turkish, and people are doing more and more in different types of printings. I
Mm-hmm.
want to know that all the new techniques and developments should know by everybody or every printers wherever in the world. For that, we can make any platform or protocol for know the new techniques.
Well, if we
Can you
talk
come again?
about China, it is like to talk about ICCI, ICC profile, because it's a very big world, and we don't know exactly what they do. They can solve some problems we cannot yet solve, but we don't know how they do sometimes. What I can say is that there are many companies that had some procedures like virus, for example, like many other brands. They are not here, so I don't talk about them, but Beppe is here, can hear me. They build a system. They build something like a guide you can follow to reach the right color, the right Pantone, the right ICC profile. You have, at a certain level, you have to start from a system. You cannot, or if you invest a lot of money to create your own system. But these are the two choices. You can study by yourself, and of course, if you start studying today, maybe you can spend 2, 3, 5 years, and Beppe can smile because he spent more than 5 years to reach his quality, the quality of his products. Because you know, you are a screen printer. You print from, I think, many years, and I'm sure you never print a job the same way of another job. Every job, even if you print a white on a black, every time you can find the difference between the two jobs, because screen printer is a science, but not so exact, not so precise. We have rules, but sometimes, please, Beppe.
Can I add something to your comment? The two last questions was directly connected with what I said before, the need to fix a standard in the screen printing industry. Today, there are not. The two guys making the question was asking for that. A specific profile or a specific standard in order to fix precise parameter to stay in the range of quality. This is not possible today. In the last year, we test over 75 different 4-color process ink from different brands. The news is no one of them is the same to the other. So what about the standard? What about the standard? And we are here talking about how to make a perfect color separation when, in according with the kind of ink we are going to buy or to print, we are not in condition to repeat what the separation has been done for. So what about the standard again? The quality is something all of us use every day. But once again, what does it mean? This is the question. So the quality have to be able to determine a specific standard able to be accepted by the market in a range of number. This is the quality. But if I have to produce an ink to do which I have to use a pure pigment that costs almost double of the other, to use a well-refined base or specific binder to keep the pigment in the proper way to pass the durability test and so on, this product will cost a little bit. So when you go to propose the product to the market complains and moves to buy the cheaper one. And with the cheaper one, they are not able to repeat what they would expect. And after that, we go to make a seminar, etc., discussing how to do a nice print. So first of all, we need to have clear idea, as I told before, in order to establish the standard, because the standard will determine the level of quality or minimum quality necessary for the manufacturer to provide or to produce a proper ink. With this proper ink, the screen printer, with its own ability and skill, go to produce the perfect result without waste time, without to create waste during the production, breakdown, etc., etc. So this is the way to work. Otherwise, we talk at a single segment, and the screen print is not possible to be considered in single segment. Screen print is one only word. It's very long, but it's only one single thing. So screen cannot be separated by the printing, and the emulsion cannot be separated by the screen, and the graphics, the computer graphic job has not to be separate by the need you have preparing the screen and so on. So this is an element, in my opinion, to think about if we want to create a program of education. In addition to what you said, so it's important to fix parameter, standard parameter. This is correct. And
I think
the reason why the two guys request that.
Yes, but what I was trying to say, it is that we need some time to reach this goal. You're right.
Yeah,
completely right.
Of course.
But it is almost the same that happened many years ago, if you remember the hi-fi components. If you bought from Japan or USA or Germany, you have different plugs. And
exactly this.
You went crazy to find the right one. So you were obliged to buy a specific, for example, amplifier and a specific speakers, because otherwise you had to add something to connect. And so this is the same. And unfortunately, screen printing, this is my personal opinion, has always been seen like something very low level. Just in our cultural way to look at this this job, you know, Beppe, in Italy, when people enter to your shop, they say, my ink is the same of yours, and my screen are made the best way of yours, but they don't know how and why.
Yeah, but this is the reason. This is the reason why the digital come with big step anytime, because it's quite easy to kill the screen printing. Not because the screen printing is easy, is poor, because screen printing don't care about all the rest. This is the reality, and we have to be aware about that. And without to shake a boat, not possible. Nothing is possible to be done.
Okay, of course. So what about our guest? One question again, because I think our time is going to finish almost.
Any more question? Anybody else?
Any more questions?
Senthil, are you clear?
Also, you can also speak in your language, and Mr. Devang or Dharmant can
yeah, they can.
Without any problem.
Okay, अगर आपको किसको question है, तो आप मेरे को हिंदी में बताएंगे, तो मैं इनको इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट करके बोलूँगा.
Hello.
Yes. बोलिए. Yes.
Hello. This is Arasu from Tripur.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Yeah. Are you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you please?
We don't see you, but we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Namaskar, Angelo. Here I wish to start a printing institution in Tripur, South India. Here we have more than thousands of automatic machines, but with illiterate workers. Can you help me to start an institution in Tirupur about printing?
Can you help me, because I there were many rumors on the background.
No, okay.
Someone
So
can.
he's asking that
Mm-hmm.
in Tirupur they have got a lot of good machines, but the
Okay.
labor, the people who are working on that, they are not of that caliber where they can get the maximum out of that machines. So he's asking whether if you can help set up
Of course, yes.
an institute where they can
Yes,
get
yes,
trained in
yes.
that, okay, of
Yeah,
how to make the best out of those machines which are
Mm-hmm.
available. So there is already a very good setup in space in the
Okay.
yeah,
place, and
yeah,
but the workers, the team, the people who are taking the using the
Okay.
machines,
Okay. Okay.
they are not so well equipped. There is a gap, so he wants to reduce that gap.
Okay.
yes,
You are talking about training.
Training,
yes,
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes, we can talk. We have to talk. I have to know your story, your
yeah.
okay,
situation, and of course we can talk about.
Yeah,
okay,
so I think
Any
he
problem?
can get connected with you. So if you can help him, he can get
okay,
connected with you. You can share
Absolutely.
your
okay,
email ID or your
Yeah. Yeah.
phone number
Yeah.
in the chat box, and then
okay.
people can have that, and then they can get connected with you.
Yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
super, super.
Yeah, Mr.
Thank
Nice.
Paras, is this fine with you?
Yeah, fine, fine, very nice.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So anybody else? Any other question? We have got 5 minutes to go maximum. और कोई है जिसको कुछ सवाल पूछना है तो पूछ सकते हैं.
Okay. I think that
I think
if
अगर
there
किस
are no more questions,
yeah. So
we
they are
can.
happy with you, not to worry. Yeah. So I will now ask. Acha, can you just share your email ID, na?
Yes,
Can
of
you
course.
share your email ID on the chat?
On the chat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. On the chat, maybe your phone number also or whatever you want to, so that they can get connected to you. So अभी chat
I
box
give you
देखिए.
this because it's my is the address I look at.
Okay.
You know.
You are not being able to see the chat.
Okay.
Okay. 1 minute. Okay, we'll share the later on. We'll share an email ID later on. Not a
Okay. Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So okay. So now I'll Mr. Devang,
Uh-huh.
is he
He's
there?
disappeared.
I'll just ask.
Disappeared.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you, Angelo.
Oh, thank you for
It was
invitation.
kind of you to share
Absolutely.
your thoughts, and we are happy that in Corona time also we are being able to be in touch with each other, as well as Beppe was also there, Marcia
Yeah.
is also there. So it is somewhat like a good, we can say, international presentation
No,
where we can share our thoughts. It's
no,
very
no.
kind of
The
you.
gurus are too old and they have nothing more to learn about. I
No,
have too many things to learn about.
we
And
have,
I'm
Yeah.
young. Sorry, look at me.
we have to be ready.
I'm different old. No,
Thank you
okay.
once again, and we will have this on the YouTube, so later on some of the friends can see and share on it. Thank you once again,
Okay.
Angelo, Beppe,
Thank you to
and
you.
Marcia to attend. I'm really happy. All the friends, thank you, Arasu sir,
Yeah,
for sparing your
yeah,
time,
thank you.
and all
Thank
our
you so
friends
much.
from Sri Lanka and Bangladesh who were here. Thanks once
Yeah.
again. Take care and be safe in Corona. Thank you
Yeah.
once.
You
Thank
too.
you,
You
thank
too.
you.
And the
Thank
email
you.
ID has been shared on the chat. You all can
Yeah,
take
Okay.
it. Email ID, I've shared the email ID on the chat.
okay.
Okay, so you can take it
I
and you
will
can
send
just.
you, Devang. I will send
Yes,
you my
yes,
presentation if you want, my
yes. And
PDF.
anybody wants
Okay.
any help from
Okay.
Angelo, they can get back to me and I can share his
No, no.
contact details.
Okay.
Angelo is
Yeah,
always there to
I
help
was
us.
talking
Thank you
about.
once
yeah.
again.
Thank
Take
you, thank you,
Okay,
Thank you.
bye. Take
Bye bye.
care.
thank you.
Ciao.
Bye,
Bye.
Thank
bye.
you, Angelo.